everyone, welcome back to another budget with me. My name is Emily and I'm going to be using YNAB to budget our fourth paycheck for December 2020. Oh my goodness, you guys, it has been a whirlwind of activity since my last check-in. We actually got paid on Wednesday, today is Sunday, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and film. On Thursday, I did get a random $400 deposit from my old employer back in Washington. That's a long story, but they are a healthcare provider that went bankrupt in, I think, March 2020. But I had quit in January 2020, and so I didn't think I would be part of any of the settlements that were occurring. So apparently, it was a benefits payout that a bunch of people received. So I'm definitely grateful for that happening. It was a nice surprise on Christmas Eve to wake up to. The first thing I'd like to do is go over our spending since my last check in. This is not normal, but I went ahead and overspent some categories because I wanted to film my budgeting, even though I'm getting to it super late. So I've made purchases since payday, but they were planned. I'm just going to have to cover what looks like overspending in the budget. A couple of our monthlies have come out, our internet, storage unit, car insurance, and my term life insurance. Child care, I had funded about $250 worth of our car seat fund in the baby funds list. It was the next line I was working on, but I went ahead and purchased them on sale and had them sent to my parents' house in Spokane. My parents will be dropping those off at the airport for us when we arrive, so we won't have to fly with the kids' car seats, which is nice. I was budgeting $600 for that purchase, but it came out to only $486 because I found them on sale. So we drive a Mazda 3 sedan, which we were concerned about because obviously trying to fit three kids under three into a single backseat row sounds like a nightmare. So really we were preparing to buy an SUV when we found out we were expecting, but obviously that would slow down some of our other goals for this year. So instead of continuing to dig ourselves deeper, we started researching options. And there are a number of low profile seats available that are designed to fit three across in the space we have. So in order to do that, we had to invest in three new car seats. We couldn't just get one low profile seat with our two existing car seats because they still wouldn't fit. And so now we have a solution that doesn't cause us to purchase a new vehicle at this time. Plus, we live in a really small village in Alaska. It's off the federal road system and not connected to anything. The farthest we ever have to drive is like 10 minutes outside of town, which is where the hospital is, and that's my employer. So once we get ready to move back to the lower 48, we will make plans to save up and sell our car here so that we can get into a three-row SUV down there and not have to worry about having to ship our car, but we'll be good with our Mazda until then. We've had a few grocery trips, although our grocery spending is remarkably low this month. We've been trying really hard. I mentioned in a previous video about a bulk order to continue eating at home and use our freezer and pantry to stock up when we see sales and stuff. So those moves are starting to pay off for sure. That being said, I added my work lunches line back in. I'm officially working back at the office for the next few weeks. I've been working from home for the last probably 7 or 8 weeks, so it's nice to get out of the house and get back into my routine at work. But I did not do a good job of making sure I had a lunch packed before leaving the house this week, so I've spent $25 and I funded that out of the unexpected expenses category. Next week, I'll plan to prep my lunch the night before, and then when we get groceries this weekend, I'll make sure that there are things for me to take. Subscriptions, Hulu came out, but you'll see that category is gone. I ended up canceling it and hiding it. I also canceled my Microsoft Office. I have it on my work computer if I need it, so I don't think it's necessary on my personal computer at this time. I also combined our two iCloud lines, so it's all one now. And in looking through all these, I actually checked the Spotify website and realized they offer a duo plan for $12.99 instead of just the family plan for $14.99, which I think is newer because I don't think that was an option the last time I was looking at Spotify plans. But we're going to be switching over to that on the 5th to save $2 a month. And then miscellaneous software, we bought an iPhone game called Heads Up, but it was $40 to unlock the specialty packs. So we ended up splurging. We got the Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, Game of Thrones, and a bunch of other fun expansions. And the game is super fun to play, so it will definitely be in the rotation. Travel, I talked about in my last video, but I needed to recategorize it to this travel line. This was my Airbnb rental deposit. I had it categorized in the baby plans Airbnb line, but I plan to delete all of those categories once the trip is over, so I don't actually want to spend out of them. I heard Budgets with Grace calling them shell categories in one of her, I think it was one of her early videos in December, which I really like. Basically, it means that I'm holding the money here for a specific purpose, that it will be spent out of a more general category. So I'll move the funds when I've made the purchase. In this case, it was the travel expenses category. Some of these will come out of dining out or groceries, medical, baby supplies, and so on. And then last, I did some more Christmas spending. I bought baking supplies for a baking day last weekend, and normally I would put this in the random acts of kindness, but this was specific to Christmas. A group of us wanted to gift one of our friends with a special Christmas surprise, so we each contributed what we could. In my case, I just used the rest of my Christmas money to send her and the kids kind of a leg up. They're going through a rough patch. Okay, I think that's it for our spending. I already entered the income and I've already taken out the paycheck withholding. So we have 26, 46, 69 to budget with. The first thing I want to do is divert 5% of our take home from now on to put directly on Transfer Tuesday, which is basically a money challenge where I squeeze as much money as I can out of our budget each week to put towards our current goal. You guys can check out my progress on that. I'm uploading a new video every Tuesday that shows how that's going. Right now, our goal is funding the baby plans fund, and then I have a video coming very soon where I'll detail what comes next for us as far as our financial goals. So check that out on New Year's if you're curious, and if you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, you'll be notified as soon as I upload. So I'm going to go ahead and take 264669 times 0.05, which will pull 5% of my take home into this category for Tuesday's video. Next, I need to fund my underfunded categories off the top, and then I need to come down here and refill the unexpected expenses buffer to $200. Now, I currently have 3 yellow bubbles showing in December, but I have no intention of funding those goals to green, so December is fully funded at this time. I'm going to jump into January and just get a couple of lines funded that are due first thing. I actually debated on this because we have a paycheck coming on the 1st, which I could also use for this step, but because the 1st is a holiday, I didn't want to mess around with the potential of a delayed or abnormal pay date. I don't anticipate that, but I'd rather just have the money set aside now, and if that does happen, it won't cause me to have to rearrange anything or show anything as overspent. So I'm going to fund January rent, it's $13.78, and then I'm going to fund 1 week of groceries for $250. And then I'm going to fund these first 2 subscriptions, which come out pretty early in the month. And then on January 1st, I want to activate a flight insurance policy. I think this will be about $125 for the year. It will cover my whole family. And basically, if any of us need to take an air ambulance to Anchorage, if something majorly bad happens, this policy will supplement our health insurance to cover the cost. So it's a small price to pay for a potentially very expensive need due to where we live. I'm currently about 32 weeks pregnant, so if I were to go into labor or any other complications arise before we leave for the lower 48 on the 22nd, that flight would be covered as well. So just one last glance through. I think this should be good to get January started. This is going to be a very abnormal couple of months for us, so I'm trying my best to plan ahead. I'm actually going to toss an extra $15 into this work lunches fund in December just in case, but I want to try and take food from home so I don't have to use it. And then it looks like the next priority is just the baby fund. So I'll get this one funded and throw this last little bit on the next one. Almost have that one done too. I'll go ahead and check the hair appointment off and move it down. I'm getting very excited to get my hairs did. It's been almost a year, I think, since my last professional cut and color, so It'll be nice to get that taken care of. Okay, so you might have noticed I added some new sinking funds in here. Check back on my channel on New Year's. I'll be talking about my 2021 goals and wrapping up 2020, and you'll see what the plan is for those two lines. All right, you guys, I think that wraps it up for our 4th December paycheck. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Please don't forget to like this video, and if you're interested in trying out this budgeting software called YNAB, check the description below for a referral link that'll gift you an extra 30 days for free after the initial 34 days free that everyone gets. I'll be back in just a couple of days for Transfer Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you then. Bye!